Donald Trump unveiled new global tariffs on Wednesday, raising fears of a global trade war.
This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history. It's our declaration of economic independence.
The proposed tariffs include a 25% tariff on imported vehicles, steel, aluminium, and other goods.
They like me, I like them.
Though primarily aimed at rivals such as China and the European Union, the effects of this trade war will hit numerous MENA nations, which have all been hit with Trump's tariffs. Some countries have been charged only at the baseline rate of 10%. These include Morocco, Egypt, Sudan, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, the UAE, Oman, Yemen, Lebanon, Turkey, and Iran, though it is heavily sanctioned by Washington. Other countries have been listed among what Trump characterized as the worst offenders, with higher rates of tariffs being imposed on them. These include Syria, which had been hit with a 41% tariff charge, Iraq at 39%, Libya at 31%, Algeria at 30%, Tunisia at 28%, and Jordan at 20%. Israel, which tried to circumvent Trump's tariffs by cutting its own duties on US goods, still got hit with a 17% rate. Despite only being charged 10% by Trump, Egypt depends on the US as a primary market for its garment and textiles industry, with over $1.1 billion in apparel exports to the United States in 2023. The new tariffs charge could erode the competitiveness of its exports, leading to decreased orders, which therefore lead to job losses in a sector that employs hundreds of thousands. Jordan would face similar risks with a 20% tariff on US goods, given its exports to the US reached nearly $2.9 billion in 2024, with $1.7 billion of that in garments. The country's vital textile sector, a major employer, could be hit by shrinking demand if US buyers shift to cheaper or untaxed alternatives. Tunisia and Algeria both have much less diversified economies, meaning the imposition of their much higher rate of US duties could complicate efforts to expand industrial exports, particularly in sectors like agriculture and manufacturing. One of the most notable indirect consequences of Trump's wave of new tariffs could also be a fall in MENA oil and gas prices because of reduced industrial output and hence demand. Countries heavily reliant on oil exports such as Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Algeria, and Kuwait could face budget deficits, forcing governments to scale back public spending, delay infrastructure projects, or borrow more heavily to cover shortfalls. In North Africa, countries like Egypt, Tunisia, and Morocco, which heavily rely on imports of grain, fuel, and consumer goods, could experience heightened inflationary pressures due to disrupted global supply chains and rising import costs stemming from tariffs. Egypt, the world's largest wheat importer, may encounter increased costs for essential commodities like bread, posing risks of economic instability or social unrest reminiscent of past events triggered by price spikes. The currencies of MENA nations could also be hit, particularly affecting indebted countries like Lebanon, Tunisia, and Egypt.